I'm Edie Lush, and I'm here in the Hub Culture Pavilion in Davos. Very delighted to be joined by Premal Shah. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, Edie.
Co-founder and CEO of Kiva, which I can't believe has been in existence for 8 years now. Tell me a little bit about what you're up to.
Sure. So Kiva is a website, and it's operated by a nonprofit based in San Francisco. And on this website, I think the best way to describe it, it's Match.com meets microfinance. So you can go through the site, pick an entrepreneur in one of 75 countries, and then help finance a loan request. So maybe it's a woman in Kenya who wants to buy a cow for $400. You can kind of lend $25 towards her. Or maybe a bakery in Oakland, California that
I'm
wants
from
to...
Piedmont.
Oh, you are? Okay, great. So, a lot of people want to lend locally, not just buy locally now. And so Kiva has started working in the U.S., and that's been pretty popular on the website. And what's cool is usually in philanthropy, when you give money, you don't really see where it goes, and there's not very strong feedback loops. But with a loan, as that entrepreneur is doing well, they start repaying a local field partner. The field partner sends the money back to Kiva, and we send it back to your Kiva account, and you can turn around and withdraw that or relend it to another entrepreneur. So that's the basic user experience. And we've been at it for 8 years, and just last year crossed 1 million entrepreneurs who've received financing through the site.
Fantastic. So what thoughts at Davos? What's influencing the way that you guys are going to move in the next year or so?
Well, one big thing, I've been going to different sessions on the future of inclusive finance. So right now there's 2.5 billion people on the planet who lack access to basic financial services, the things that you and I take for granted, savings, insurance, credit, etc. Well, one thing that's going to totally bend the cost curve and make it a lot more possible for us to reach people, especially the rural poor around the planet, is mobile finance, where we're able to send money back and forth on our phones. And I get really excited about how mobile finance systems such as M-Pesa in Kenya, combined with crowdfunding sites like Kiva, you combine it together and we can really bring down the interest rates for the poor in microfinance. And so that's a big theme. Another big theme is focusing on food security. So there's a new initiative called the Grow in Africa initiative, which if you look at Africa's productivity right now, and if you think about how we're going to feed a world of 9 billion people by 2050, we have to figure out how we increase the productivity of smallholder farms. And, these are people who earn $1, $2 a day. And there's a lot of conversations around, sometimes it sounds a little high level, but, about how banks can come together with ministries, how companies like Unilever can actually start sourcing from smallholders, and to be able to kind of hear how the little guy, through no fault of their own, just, the birth lottery. They're born on a farm in rural Uganda. How their life is going to be made better through globalization and less marginalization in the future.
So what's in the pipeline? Some of these kind of tie-ups that you're talking about?
Yeah, so what we get really excited about is the idea of, if you're a company, letting your employees or customers crowdfund or crowdlend your CSR budget. So for example, Google now, in addition to getting free lunch if you're a Googler, Google lets, with their Google.org budget, lets their employees spend it on Kiva. And then the money comes back to Google.org because it's a loan, not a donation. And so it just recycles over and over. And we're starting to see ways for, you can imagine the World Bank and the IFC, usually it's like these big disbursements, that are done, not on highly transparent platforms. But what if all of that could be done online so that, it's public money, the World Bank's money, the IFC's money. What if we could actually, connect with it, actually direct it a bit within a constrained choice set of high impact interventions that are going to make a difference for the world's working poor. So I think there's now that these crowdfunding platforms are starting to gain steam, people are looking for what they're calling alternative to the classic development finance model, and I think Kiva and crowdfunding can really play a role.
Absolutely fascinating, Premal. Thanks so much for stopping into the Hub
Thanks, Edie.
Culture Pavilion here in Davos, and I'm Edie Lush.